Once upon a time, if you said Sunday, people in Britain might think church, a long walk and a roast dinner. There was no shopping and very little entertainment. Not anymore. Church attendance has shrunk and retail therapy on Sundays is thriving. Arguably more than any other day of the week, Sunday has changed beyond all recognition. The photographer Matt Writtle has just published a collection of photographs called Sunday, a Portrait of 21st Century England. And it's full of images showing what different people now do on their day of rest. He's on the line now. Matt, you've covered the world documenting news stories. So why did you decide to focus on this very domestic subject of family life on Sundays?
Well, good morning. I returned to England after working overseas for 4 years in 2003, and I felt as a photographer I could look at England with a little bit more distance than before, and we were living in a post-9/11 devolved society. So I was interested in English identity, but also what role religion still played in today's society. So as you mentioned, in religious attendance figures have declined. So I started thinking about, well, what do people do on a Sunday, and how does the way they spend their leisure time reflect the nature of society today?
And what did you find as you started taking your pictures? I mean, you've covered all sorts of different families from different parts of the country doing very different things.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's still the traditions are there. They've not been eradicated, especially outside of the metropolises. But there is a definite change. The retail therapy you mentioned is a massive one.
You've got some nice pictures of people going to IKEA.
Yeah, exactly. That was a fun day. There's also stories that I did that haven't made the book, where I followed a student around Brighton for a whole day, and he just walks around the shops every Sunday. That's all he does. He was 19 years old. And so there's very much that's a big impact. But I also think that the internet, social media is having a big impact into the erosion of the sort of respect that we have for our own time.
Well, you did have pictures of a church in Willesden Green with the pastor there saying, I think the sacredness of Sunday has been lost. Consumerism is the new religion. That's
correct. The reason I decided to document the Pentecostal pastor was because their figures have gone up by 38% since 1980. And I saw that as a sort of a different side of something that is a success despite everything that's going on with retail.
And, I mean, did you find in your photographs that there was perhaps more private practice of spiritual things? I mean, you've actually got a Muslim family praying at home. And interestingly also, as far as I can see from the picture, sitting on their sofa eating a ham sandwich, but I don't know if that's correct.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what was inside the sandwich, but I mean, I think that, like I say, I think there's still a lot of that. The traditions are still there, but I do think they're being eroded.
And do you think people struggle to fill their Sundays, or did you actually find quite a sort of rich variety? I mean, you've got people going for walks, you've got people just lounging around, just having fun. I mean, do you think something has really been lost, or do you think people simply will spend more time with their children, perhaps?
I think there is more opportunity, even in effect, with shopping and retail and things like that. So I do think that people are they're relaxing less, I think, on a Sunday. I think they're actually doing more.
And but when you were taking these pictures, did people seem quite happy, actually, that they weren't necessarily sitting in church, that actually they found fulfilment doing other things?
Yeah, I guess so. I think, a lot of people do tend to use Sunday as more of a day like Saturday now, I think. So all of those things with the pressures of everyday life and work that's being pushed over. So as we go more towards a sort of 7-day week, I think people now push their things that they would reserve for a Saturday onto a Sunday.
Matt Writtle, thanks very much. And why not send us a snapshot of your typical Sunday, and we'll put them up on the programme website. Email us on sunday@bbc.co.uk.